Welcome to Picture Book Chat, where we feature a handful of new picture books each month and discuss what makes them great. Whether you're a parent, caregiver, or teacher, you're bound to find some wonderful reading suggestions from librarians Mary Ellen Bracks and Sheri Boggs.
Hello, welcome to Picture Book Chat. I am Mary Ellen Bracks, and I am the Public Services Manager for Youth Services. And with me today is
Sheri Boggs, and I am the Youth Collection Development Librarian for the Spokane County Library District.
So we have some great picture books to talk about today.
We do.
So Sheri picks them out, and we take a look at them together, and then we're here to just talk about our thoughts about them.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one we have is called Yes, Chef, and by Charlotte Love. It's a board book. I think it could be used with more than just babies and and toddlers even. It's a fun one. It's great if you're doing a food unit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But basically it goes, team, are we ready? And then all the utensils and say, yes, chef, let's go. And then there's some repetition in here for the kids, which is a lot of fun. But the color scheme is nice and bright, so it's going to appeal to those toddlers. Let's make a fruit salad. And then you get the yes, chef, yes, chef, yes, chef. So you could point and have them say yes, chef. And what I liked about it, too, is you could name everything that's on the page as toddlers are beginning to catch on to language. That would be great. And it just goes through the different things of making a fruit salad. So
washing your ingredients,
yes,
very important.
Peel and chopping and scooping. And so you say the sentence and then you just point and go, yes, chef, yes, chef, yes, chef. As you go through, and then they're going into the bowl, and then they drizzle their toppings, and let's eat. So that's a nice introduction to preparing a meal. But like I said, the colors are so bright and fun, and I could really see that call and response working for some older kids. So it would be just a fun one to throw in, even if you were working with preschoolers.
Yeah, definitely.
To go through and just say, oh, let's make this. And then, I could see them pretending to play in a kitchen and saying, yes, chef, yes, chef. So I thought it was a fun one. Your thoughts, Sheri?
I immediately loved this book because at the time I saw it on our wholesaler site, I was deep into all 3 seasons of The Bear on Hulu, which is not a children's show. Let me just throw that in there. But that's a common thing in the show. They're always like, yes, chef, yes, chef. And so I immediately was just like, oh, that's really cute. And I have to think the author was inspired by that a little bit. As far as this book for the small children that it's intended for.
Right.
I think it's a great book for the same reasons you did. The colors, being able to identify the fruits.
Yes.
I think is big. Anything with little eyes, I think kids love.
Yeah. Colors. There's so many colors you can work on colors.
And there's not a recipe, but you could easily make a fruit salad after reading this. And I think kids would have fun helping out with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It'd be a good way to get kids to eat fruit.
Yeah.
Well, most kids are pretty good with fruit, but still, it just, maybe you're introducing a new one and putting it into a salad would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see using this as an activity in a classroom or just as a at-home activity, and then go make snack or go make, a fruit salad for lunch or dinner.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I really liked about it was the sequencing. Like, I like that it breaks down the simple act of making a fruit salad, and it talks about all the steps. And I think that whole sequencing thing can be really important for small children. And you could talk about other things like, what is it when we make tacos? Or, how do we brush our teeth? It's like first you do this and this and this.
Well, that sequencing is so important for not only math, but also for language.
Oh, yeah.
And so, so it combined a lot of things in this little package of a book.
So cute.
Make a fun gift.
Yeah, definitely.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And then on the back, here is the ISBN, so you can scan that, and it'll take you right to our catalog.
Place a hold.
Yes.
Well, our next book, Mary Ellen, is also food themed. This is Umami by Jacob Grant. Kids might not know this word. Most kids probably don't know this word, but umami is the name for it's sort of like the fifth taste, and it's like savory, yummy, kind of unctuous, if you will, foods. So this is about a little penguin whose name is Umami, and she's had it up to here with cold fish. That's all they eat. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the penguin village ate cold fish. For dessert, cold fish. Your birthday, more cold fish. But this was one fish too many for Umami. So one of them asked her, "Are you going to finish that?" And she's like, "I'm finished with all of it. If there's more exciting food in this world, I will find it."
Yeah.
So this is a great book for your picky eaters. She sets off on an adventure to discover all the foods of the world. I love that you start seeing more color as she encounters the world and all the great foods there. You see these great things like hot dogs and some pizza, a little pizza oven. And so she tries everything. Like this first thing that she tries is sour, and the wolf says, "How is it?" And she goes, "It makes my tongue tingle." She ate bitter foods that were challenging, and the goat says, "The flavor is strong today." "Yes," said Umami, "but my beak is stronger." So I love that this book takes, like sometimes a new taste can be unpleasant or startling, and I like that this book shows the character kind of pushing through that. Like it's more important to try new foods than maybe to not have your tongue tingle or whatever. They talk about foods that are soft and cozy and sweet and too easy to gobble up. They describe umami foods are meaty and savory and also too easy to gobble up. We talk about the spicy, I love this page, spicy foods and how they make her little eyes go on fire. So she brings them back to the village, and she's wondering how they're going to do. And I just love this page where she's just kind of like waiting in anticipation to see if they like it. And it's quiet and everybody is chewing. And then you see everybody reacting to their food. So I think it's a great book kind of about family and trying new things. And experiencing new foods, which I think can be huge for that age group. What did you think about it, Mary Ellen?
Oh, I loved it because I loved how they talked about the different tastes too, with the bitter and the sweet and the hot. And so I thought that was fun. And I did like how it went from, kind of being in the Arctic where it's all the same color, kind of white and browns, and then it starts getting more color in there. I like that it was an adventure story. It's an adventure in food. And I can see using this in a classroom where maybe you have your own little food adventure too, and try something new every month or so.
Right.
That would be fun in knowing how to say, oh, it's too salty, or, oh, it's too sweet or bitter. So I thought there was great vocabulary in here, too. I thought it was a really fun one. And I love all the different animals where the penguin's going. And then I'm a growing penguin. So I thought this might be a fun way to get kids to try new things, too. So I could see that.
Think about what they're tasting too. Like how would you describe that?
Yeah.
What flavor is that?
Yeah. So that could be fun at the family dinner table too, to put something little new out for everybody to take a little taste of and talk about the taste of it. And you're working on that vocabulary as you're doing it. Why, or you could even ask, well, why don't you like something if their face is sometimes we need to try something a couple of times. And they talked about some were curious and some penguins were concerned. I know we get a lot of kids that can be concerned about food. But I love it says, but penguins are always hungry. I thought it was a fun one. I thought it would be fun to use in a classroom. Like I said, trying different foods, or, that works very nicely at home too. Maybe going to a new restaurant or something like that too. Yeah. He's scared because they were all so quiet. And then they're like, incredible, delicious. My tongue feels funny. But they were all hungry for more. So I had a happy ending. And then he's there cooking. So then you could move into the cooking aspect of it, too. So what should we try today?
Right.
What would you like to try today?
They even make like a little chart of new foods.
Yeah.
Like everything we tried this month. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I think the art is great. I think it's really engaging. I think you said the age group. You're thinking preschoolers with
I'm
this?
thinking preschoolers with this one.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, preschool and up. I could say kindergarten, first grade. You might have some fun with it, too, if you're doing a food unit, nutrition unit.
Yeah.
That type of a thing. I think that would be a good one to use it for, too.
Excellent.
You could even have the kids write out, what would you like to try?
That you've never had before.
That you've never had before, yes. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, fun one. Thank you.
Oh, you bet. That was Umami by Jacob Grant. And here's the code on the back if you want to scan it and find it in our catalog. So what's next, Mary Ellen?
Oh, this one is such a fun one. And it's I'll love you till the crocodiles smile. So this one has a rhyming text, which I always love. That's great for language development. It's got some great vocabulary in it. And then it's all about the different animals, too. So I will love you till the crocodiles smile. And the artwork in here is just spectacular, I thought. In kayaks coasting single file past the croc dentist on the swampy Nile, I'll love you till the crocodiles smile. So great language, great rhyming in there. And then it goes on to another one. I have to admit, this one kind of freaked me out a little bit. I will love you till the snakes shake, zooming along over a shiny lake on zip lines guaranteed not to break. I will love you till the snakes shake. So you got some tongue twisters in there too. Mm-hmm. And so it goes through different animals from here. Snakes in the water still freak me out.
Yeah.
But
do not like.
But they've got baby boars in here. This is adorable where they're in shopping carts and they talk about snoring in the store. After running amok an hour before, I will love you till the baby boars snore. So I just thought it was this would be a nice one to do around Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Too. And then you can have the kids maybe draw their favorite animals on it, too. But, the elephants, they're ranting about being stuck in traffic. And then they got some sloths in here. Then you've got chimpanzees. Just some fun illustrations. It's totally silly, so I could see using this with older kids as you're talking about rhyming so that they can come up with their own silly rhymes. Yeah. I think that would be a lot of fun, too. But, you could also have them participate with you, because when you say, I will love you till, and then they can help you out with that ending. And then it ends. It's a nice nighttime book even, because it ends with them all sleeping. It ends with, I will love you till the crocodiles smile, which is just a fun book. I can see using this with some other alligator books. Oh, yeah. Too.
Croc-a-clock, maybe?
Yeah, Croc-a-clock, my other favorite one. So, yeah, I imagined using this in story time and having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
So I can imagine it in a classroom and having a lot of fun with it. And you could almost even do it with a unit on animals.
Oh, yeah.
Too, and incorporate it into there. So, yeah, a lot of fun. This one was by Kathryn Cristaldi and Kristyna Litten, I think is how you say that.
And they did another book. I know we've got this in the catalog called I'll Love You Till the Cows Come Home. Mm-hmm. So if you like this one, check that one out too.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So what were your thoughts?
I really liked it too. I had the same reaction to the snake page you did. I was just like, well, let's not bring snakes into this, shall we? But I love the twist that they're on they're on zip
Yeah,
lines, and I
lines.
love this one's kind of screaming in terror. I like to think. There's just a lot of silliness here, playful language. I think the illustrations really make the book. Yeah, like you, I really love this page about the boars. And there's a lot of humor like that. One page with the elephants, like I just love their little expressions.
Yeah.
I think in addition to being a great read aloud, this is one you can have a lot of fun with looking at together. Like there's all this stuff in the details. Like I've looked at this 3 or 4 times and I'm still finding things that I hadn't noticed before. Like even on this page with sloths crawling slowly in yoga pants. I hadn't realized until we were just looking at it that the slowly was stretched out.
There's great vocabulary in here too, but like you said, looking at the pictures in detail, this would be a great on the lap book where, you've got a couple of kids sitting on your lap or snuggled up on the couch. And, you could be pointing things out. And if you've got kids who really like to look through the book first, you might want to do that first just because then you can keep that rhythm of the language going too. I thought it was great. Time warning. So
that's I'll love you till the crocodiles smile.
Yes. And on the back here's the barcode to scan and find it in our catalog if you want to put a hold on it. Great.
So we're to our last book, Mary Ellen, and this is Wilder Child by Nicolette Sowder and Mio Yim. First off, I just can't even talk about how much I love this cover. Like, I just love the boldness of it. It's got a little bit of diversity. I really love these kind of soft, sort of pastel pencil-y illustrations. Great end papers.
Right, yeah, I love the end papers on this one.
Yeah. So this is based on a poem, and it begins, celebrate the wild children, and you see this gorgeous meadow and this big, gnarly, I'm thinking it's an oak, with their bare feet, and you see this little band of kids running down the road, and sparkling eyes. So each page, like even though there's just a tiny bit of text, there's so much going on in the details.
Yeah, there's
little squirrel. I think it's a squirrel.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, snake. It's from the other book. The restless turning climbers. So you can talk about the different naturescapes that they're in. Like here they're in kind of a wooded area. And here they're on the shore. There's little things to look for, like this little lighthouse. The wild ones with their outside voices singing all the way home. So it's just got beautiful language. You can talk about things like the reflection in the water. Again, with the different environments. Here they are in a desert.
It's really beautifully done.
Yeah. So I don't know, there's probably not a lot going on in terms of story time, but it might be a great one-on-one book.
Yeah, I would use it in story time. If I was doing something on nature, I think I would include it in there and about being outside, because I think that's the beauty of it. And I love that they're outside even in the rain.
Yeah.
That there's, kids love putting on the rain boots and a raincoat and an umbrella for the most part. So when they first get their first rain boots and umbrella, it's a lot of fun. So there's a lot to look at and explore. I would use this in a classroom too, and then you can talk about, well, what things do we see in our yard when we're outside? And I mean, you can do that when you go to the park. If you're doing some traveling, remember when we read that and the kids in this book were doing that? It might pair nicely with Little Land.
Oh, totally. I knew it was reminding me of something. I bet it was that.
But it would pair nicely with that one if you were doing a unit. It would be a nice introduction to a nature unit or being outside, so that they've got some scaffolding too, because a lot of things, like especially these last couple of pages too, have you done something like this, with the gardening, so it might be nice in springtime. Seems like a very spring summery book.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the rain in there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would definitely use it in story time because it'd be a nice one to kind of end on if you did kind of a nature type story time too.
And I love that crosses generations. Like you see on this page when they are grown and someone has to speak for those who have no voice. You've got this, it's one of the children from earlier, I think, as an adult.
Yeah.
And then you see them on the next page, talking to a new group of kids. And I love that. Like, we learn a lot about nature and gardening and stuff from the generations that come before us. And I just think it's really sweet that way.
And there's lots of things you can point out on a page to a younger child. So, helping with that vocabulary and naming things.
Yeah.
So, I think, I think it's a good one. And I think she has a website or a company called Wilder Child.
Oh, okay.
And the mission is to support families through nature-bonded parenting and home education. So she's also the creator of Wild Schooling, a homeschooling movement that focuses on emergent learning and encourages village building, as well as the Kids Moon Club, which celebrates families and aligns them with the seasonal and lunar cycles. So there's some, if you do have a lot of interest in nature, this might be, in working with kids and nature education, her website might be a good one to go to, too, as another resource.
Yeah.
So, but the illustrator made her debut in South Korea. So she's just, I am so impressed with her work.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's done another book called To the Forest of Night, and she now lives in Australia, but I'm going to be watching her because I really love her art style.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So, another fun one.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. What age do you think?
I think mostly preschool and up.
Yeah.
You probably have, there's always the toddler that will sit there and they just love looking at the pictures and
tripping out on the colors.
Yeah. So, and it's short enough you could do it with, an older toddler, an older 2-year-old or a 3-year-old if you have one that does like to sit. I love that these are about children that love to be active and to be outside.
And use their outside voices.
Yeah. And, so yes, you've got some kids who will spend all their time outside. So this is dedicated to them and that the fact that they love to explore nature. So yeah,
so much
beautiful.
Fun.
Yeah.
So that one was Wilder Child, and here's the code on the back if you want to look it up in our catalog. All right.
Well, great. Well, thank you. This was a fun bunch of books. I had so much fun reading through these. They were great. So thank you for joining us for another episode of Picture Book Chat, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching Picture Book Chat. If you enjoyed this discussion, please give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. We'll be back next month, and until then, happy reading with the children in your life.